Have you ever looked at someone and felt something was off, even though they were smiling? That moment when your intuition whispers before your mind understands. Because the truth is, learning to read people is not manipulation, it's awareness. And today, I want to share 7 powerful lessons that will transform the way you understand human behavior, relationships, and even yourself. Stay with me until the end, because the final lessons hold the real secret. The kind of wisdom that can completely change how you navigate life. Anyone can impress you for a moment. Anyone can smile, say the right thing, and create a beautiful first impression. In fact, human beings are incredibly skilled at presenting the version of themselves they want the world to see. We dress well, we speak carefully, and we highlight the qualities that make us appear trustworthy, kind, or confident. But a single moment doesn't define who someone truly is. One conversation cannot reveal the depth of a person's character. The real story of a human being is written over time, through repeated actions that slowly form a pattern. When you begin to observe those patterns, instead of isolated moments, something powerful happens. You start to see people clearly. Think about the people you admire the most in your life. Maybe it's a mentor, a friend, a parent, or someone who has always shown up when it mattered. What makes them special is rarely a single grand gesture. Instead, it's the quiet consistency of their behavior. They keep their promises. They remain supportive even during difficult times. They show the same respect whether they are in a crowded room or in a private conversation. Over months and years, these repeated actions create a pattern of reliability. That pattern becomes their true identity. Character is not something people declare. It is something they demonstrate again and again until it becomes undeniable. On the other hand, there are moments in life when someone may say all the right words, but their actions slowly tell a different story. Maybe they promise support, but disappear when you need them most. Maybe they speak about loyalty, yet gossip behind people's backs. These contradictions often confuse us because we want to believe the words we heard first. But patterns have a way of revealing truth that words cannot hide forever. When you look closely, you begin to see that actions are like footprints. They show the direction someone is truly walking, regardless of what they claim. This understanding becomes even more important when you are building relationships, whether in friendships, love, or professional environments. Many people make the mistake of judging someone based on charm, confidence, or a few pleasant interactions. But charm is easy to perform for a short period of time. Consistency is much harder to fake. Over time, habits expose values. A person who respects your boundaries today, but repeatedly ignores them tomorrow, is showing you a pattern. A person who celebrates your success today, but quietly competes with you later, is also revealing a pattern. When you train yourself to notice these repetitions, you gain a powerful ability to protect your emotional energy and invest it wisely. What's fascinating is that patterns don't only reveal negative traits. They also highlight genuine goodness in people. Some individuals may not be the loudest, the funniest, or the most charismatic in a room. But watch them closely and you will notice something remarkable. They consistently help others without expecting recognition. They remain calm during stressful situations. They keep showing up, again and again, with honesty and integrity. These people may not try to impress anyone, yet their patterns quietly build trust. Over time, you realize that true character is not about dramatic moments. It is about the quiet discipline of behaving with integrity every single day. Learning to observe patterns also requires patience and emotional maturity. In a world obsessed with instant judgments and quick opinions, slowing down and watching carefully can feel unusual. But wisdom often lives in observation. When you give yourself the space to see how someone behaves over time, you stop reacting to temporary emotions and start responding to long-term truth. You begin to understand that human beings are not defined by a single mistake or a single success, but by the repeated choices they make. Those choices slowly form a rhythm, and that rhythm becomes the clearest reflection of who they really are. When you stop judging people by isolated moments and start paying attention to patterns, you unlock one of life's most powerful forms of awareness. Because while words can be rehearsed and appearances can be crafted, the truth of a person's character always reveals itself through the consistency of their actions. Human beings communicated long before language was ever created, long before sentences, grammar, and carefully chosen words. People understood one another through expressions, gestures, posture, and subtle shifts in energy. Even today, thousands of years later, that ancient system of communication still lives inside us. We may rely heavily on words in modern conversations, but the body continues to reveal emotions the mind tries to hide. A smile can appear on someone's face while their eyes carry tension. A confident statement can be spoken while the hands fidget nervously. The fascinating truth about human interaction is that the body rarely lies. While words are carefully chosen, body language often speaks instinctively, revealing feelings that even the speaker may not fully recognize. If you begin observing people closely, you will notice that every movement carries meaning. A person leaning slightly forward while listening shows interest and engagement. Someone who repeatedly checks their phone during a conversation quietly signals distraction or disinterest. Crossed arms might suggest defensiveness, while relaxed shoulders can indicate comfort and openness. These gestures may seem small in isolation, but together they form a powerful story about what someone is truly feeling in that moment. The body becomes a silent narrator of emotions, offering clues that words alone cannot fully explain. The more aware you become of these signals, the more deeply you start to understand the conversations happening beneath the surface. One of the most interesting aspects of body language is how naturally we respond to it, even when we don't consciously analyze it. Have you ever met someone who said all the right things, but somehow made you feel uneasy? Or someone who didn't say much at all, yet their presence made you feel comfortable and understood? That reaction often comes from the subtle cues your mind is picking up: eye contact, facial expressions, tone of voice, and the rhythm of movement. Your brain is constantly reading these signals and forming impressions within seconds. This silent exchange happens so quickly that many people don't even realize it's occurring. Yet it shapes the way we trust, connect with, or distance ourselves from others. Eye contact alone is one of the most powerful elements of body language. When someone maintains calm, steady eye contact during a conversation, it often reflects confidence, honesty, and attentiveness. On the other hand, constantly avoiding eye contact can sometimes indicate discomfort, insecurity, or an attempt to hide something. But it's important to remember that body language is not about jumping to conclusions. Instead, it's about observing patterns of behavior within a specific context. A single gesture may mean very little, but a consistent combination of signals can reveal emotional truths that words never express. True understanding comes from patient observation rather than quick judgment. Tone of voice is another subtle but powerful aspect of nonverbal communication. The same sentence can carry entirely different meanings depending on how it is spoken. A gentle tone can make criticism feel constructive, while a harsh tone can turn a simple statement into confrontation. Pauses, hesitation, speed of speech, and even breathing patterns contribute to the emotional message being delivered. Often, what people feel is not expressed directly in the words they choose, but in the energy behind those words. When you start paying attention to these vocal signals alongside physical gestures, conversations begin to reveal layers of meaning you may have never noticed before. Developing the ability to read body language is not about becoming suspicious or overly analytical. It is about becoming more aware and present in human interactions. When you observe people carefully, you begin to notice when someone feels uncomfortable, when someone is excited but trying to remain composed, or when someone is silently asking for support without saying it aloud. This awareness deepens empathy and strengthens communication, because you start responding not just to spoken words, but to the emotional reality behind them. In a world where people often hide their true feelings behind polite language, the ability to understand these unspoken signals becomes a powerful form of emotional intelligence. Wise, when you learn to listen not only with your ears, but also with your eyes and intuition, you begin to understand that the body is always speaking, quietly revealing truths that words may never fully express. If you truly want to understand a person, listen carefully to what they talk about most often. Human beings reveal their inner world through their repeated conversations. The subjects people return to again and again are rarely random. They are reflections of what occupies their thoughts, their fears, their dreams, and their priorities. Some people constantly discuss opportunities, ideas, and growth. Others repeatedly focus on problems, complaints, and the shortcomings of those around them. These patterns of speech quietly reveal the emotional landscape within someone's mind. Words may appear casual on the surface, but beneath them lies a map of values, beliefs, and personal struggles that shape how someone experiences the world. When someone frequently talks about other people's mistakes or failures, it often reflects something deeper than simple observation. Sometimes it signals insecurity, a hidden need to feel superior, or unresolved frustration within their own life. Criticism becomes a shield that protects their ego from confronting their own weaknesses. On the other hand, when someone often celebrates the achievements of others or expresses genuine excitement for someone else's progress, it usually indicates emotional security and confidence. People who feel comfortable with themselves rarely feel threatened by another person's success. Instead, they view it as proof that growth and possibility exist for everyone. The same principle applies to ambition and purpose. Notice how people speak about the future. Some individuals constantly discuss goals, ideas, or plans that excite them. Their conversations are filled with curiosity and possibility. Even when they encounter obstacles, their language reflects determination and problem solving. Others may speak about the future with hesitation, doubt, or fear. Their words often revolve around limitations rather than opportunities. Neither approach makes someone good or bad, but it reveals how they perceive the world. The topics that dominate a person's conversations often mirror the direction of their mindset and the level of hope they carry within themselves. Listening carefully also teaches you something fascinating about emotional priorities. When people are deeply passionate about something, whether it's family, creativity, career, or personal growth, it naturally appears in their conversations again and again. Their enthusiasm becomes impossible to hide. You can hear it in their voice when they describe a project they care about, a cause they believe in, or a dream they are pursuing. This repeated focus shows what truly matters to them. It highlights the areas of life where they invest their time, attention, and emotional energy. Over time, these recurring topics paint a clear picture of the values guiding their decisions. However, understanding people through their conversations requires patience and empathy. It is easy to misinterpret someone if you only listen to isolated statements. Everyone has moments when they complain, worry, or express frustration. That is part of being human. What truly reveals a person's mindset is the long-term pattern of their speech. Do their conversations eventually return to growth and possibility, or do they remain trapped in negativity and blame? Do they speak about learning from mistakes, or do they spend most of the time explaining why problems are someone else's fault? These patterns show whether someone approaches life with accountability or avoidance. When you begin listening beyond the surface of conversations, you develop a deeper awareness of the emotional forces shaping human behavior. Words stop being just sounds exchanged between people. They become windows into the mind and heart. You start to recognize when someone is driven by passion, when someone is carrying unresolved pain, and when someone is quietly searching for meaning. This awareness does not encourage judgment, but understanding. It helps you navigate relationships with wisdom, offering support where it is needed and protecting your energy when necessary. Over time, you realize that the topics people repeatedly discuss are not just casual conversation. They are reflections of their inner reality. When you listen closely to what people choose to speak about again and again, you begin to see beyond the words themselves and discover the deeper truths shaping their thoughts, their priorities, and the direction of their lives.